I'm going to stick a post-it note to my monitor that just says, never update Bandicam again. So yeah, we got the microphone working yesterday, but apparently in places it was a smidgen loud and a little bit distorted. Hopefully it's fixed today. If it's not, I give up. I'll just start sending this out to you. I don't know, I'll write you a letter each and send them out to you each day instead, because clearly the microphone will never work properly again. Hello and welcome to part 10 of the Milan mission. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have a rather important Champions League game at home against Benfica. But first we have to negotiate Cagliari in the Cagliari? I think it's Cagliari, not Cagliari. Could be wrong though. We're playing them away from home in the league. Form has picked up a little bit since you were with me yesterday. As you can see, we have, in fact, the only game we've lost all season was that game against Napoli, also known as the game Donnarumma just made me angry. Since then, I mean, we had a little run of draws, but they were deliberate draws. Certainly the Leverkusen one was in the last video. And then we've kind of been in defensive mode since, because we've had a real tough run of games. Roma and Juventus are probably the two best teams in the division. So we got a win and a draw against them. A little disappointed with the draw at home to Sampdoria, but we then beat Villarreal at home in the Champions League and then picked up another 1-0 win against Bologna. The worry is we've turned into a proper Serie A team. The last 6 games we've only scored 5 goals, but we've only conceded 2 goals in that time, so it's been quite a good return of points, and if we can beat Benfica by a 1-0, that'd be rather pleasant. So we'll have a look at the 2 leagues that we're in at the moment. So this is the situation in the proper league. We're joint third with Fiorentina, 5 points behind Juventus at the top of the league. We need to make sure that gap doesn't get any bigger before it becomes insurmountable. Only 2 points behind Inter in second place, so, and it wouldn't be the end of the world for us to finish second in the league again this year. Our priority for this year is really to see how much work we need to do to create a team that's going to be competitive in the Champions League. It's more a season of discovery. Next year we want to win Serie A, and the season after maybe, or the season after that, depending on what we find this season, we might be ready to go and win the Champions League. We shall see. So our Champions League group, we're actually doing pretty alright. We're top of our group after 2 games, and we're at home to Benfica in this very episode, who are currently bottom of the group. So we could have 1 foot into the first knockout round if we have a good result today. So the team that we're going to be playing in the first of today's 2 games, the one that's away against Cagliari, I mentioned it a minute ago. Listen. Goodness me. We've got Donnarumma in goal, a back 4 of De Sciglio, Romagnoli, Gomez and Makey, who is a superstar. I mean, look, he's only played 5 games. Abati got injured, but he's averaging a 7.74. A lot of the reason why we've suddenly gone into a good run of form has been the emergence of this man. We all thought he was good. He's made his Brazil debut now because he's that good, apparently. So 4 league games, 1 goal, 2 assists, 2 Man of the Match awards. That'll do for your first 4 games at a new club in a new continent. I think we've got a new superstar. So Abati, made him captain. He'll probably never play for us again. De Sciglio's still going to play on the left-hand side, though. Lazar hasn't had quite as spectacular an arrival, only averaging a 6.82. So I guess the fullback of many names stays until the transfer window, and hopefully we'll flog him. Camacho is now fit. He played the Champions League game against Villarreal when he wasn't really properly fit, so we rested him again in the league game between the 2. But we've now had an international break. He's fit. We get to see him actually fit for the first time, although he's not close to match fit. But hopefully that's going to solidify things at the back a little bit more. Not that we need it at the moment, but, you know, hopefully it'll allow the fullbacks to push on even more. We've then got Bertolocci and Mauri in midfield with Bonaventura and Honda behind Bacca. Honda's having a little bit of a run in the team at the moment, again, because he's playing really well. Niang not playing quite so well. Also struggling a little bit for fitness. He's not been injured. I don't remember unless he got injured on the international break and is now fit again, but we dropped him for a couple of games before anyway because he's just not been the same player. And since we've had Honda in the team, Bacca seems to have sparked himself to life again. So I guess we've dropped our 2 proper strikers from last year weren't really playing. We've got rid of one, and Honda's being a little creative force in there. and Bacca seems to be scoring goals again. So at least we didn't have to drop them both, because we don't really have. I mean, I suppose we could bring Luis Adriano. Is that his name? He could have come in, but I don't really want to be playing a whole second string front line. That would be troubling. Right, I want Makey to be awesome again. Look at that, Honda intercepting, plays Bacca through. That was just brilliant from Honda. He had no right to win the ball there, but wins it back and then plays a great little through ball to Bacca as well. Honda again to Bacca again. Bacca, he's still not got his full-on shooting boots, has he? Once he gets fully back into form, we've got the makings of a really good side here now. Especially, hopefully, having Camacho in there will encourage Makey to go nuts down that right flank a little bit more, especially as both Honda and Niang tend to cut inside a little bit. Oh, what's just happened? Goodness me. I mean, that's just makes me sad. Who are even playing? Cagliari. Never heard of them. Can't even say them. And they're 1-0 up against us, which is... I mean, that man was invisible. He just appeared out of nowhere. That shouldn't be allowed. That's got to be against the rules. That man just materialised. There must be something in the offside laws against just materialising on the pitch like that. Ridiculous. Oh, they're going to score again now. I mean, we've got to count their players and see which ones are currently invisible. I mean, that's... Donnarumma does not like to perform for you lot. I think that's the problem we've got here. He's been I mean, we've now conceded as many goals in the first 33 minutes of this game against Cagliari as we've conceded in the last 6 games in which we played Roma, Juventus, Villarreal. What's happened? It's because you lot are here. Ridiculous. Right. I mean, let's try and get back into this game. So much for being more defensively sound with Camacho in the team. Honda, there you go. Well, at least one of the players I've been complimentary about in the build-up has come and nabbed the goal. It's his second of the season. I mean, it's not over yet. We're only 1-0 down. It's not even half-time yet. We're not 1-0 down, we're 1 goal down. I remember the other 2 goals that went in this match. I remember we scored one. That was fun. I liked that. We're only 1 goal down going into half-time, so it's not the end of the world. But, that is not the start we expected. And what's wrong with Bacca? He looks absolutely shattered. We've got a Champions League game in a couple of days. I think he's coming off now because he's not playing well, and I just don't want to risk him. So Luis Adriano, as much as I said I didn't want him in the side, really, I mean, he has scored for us already this season. We have got an eye on the Champions League, even though we're still behind in this game. Bacca's not playing well, and Champions League, I guess, is the priority. It's the goal of the save. We want to be winning the Champions League. So we can sacrifice the odd league game here and there, I guess, as long as it doesn't become too common. Oh, we've got a penalty now, but our penalty taker is not on the pitch. So, Honda's stepping up to take it. There you go. Oh, Honda wants his second of the match, his third of the season. He's clutching this opportunity with both hands. He stopped clutching then. Goodness me. We better get back into this game. I'm going to be ever so sad. We shouldn't be losing again. Where are they in the league? I mean, they were in the relegation zone at the start of all this. I mean, it shouldn't even be an issue. We should just be winning games like this. How do we get ourselves into this pickle? Every time I turn on that camera, I might just try and do a game with just microphone and see if that makes any difference. See if it is the camera that's unlucky. I suppose it's conceivable. It could be the microphone that's unlucky. I tend not to talk into that very often when I'm playing on my own either. I mean, sometimes I do mutter along to myself, but usually the microphone's not plugged in. Right, Camacho's had to come off because he's not fit either. We haven't really... Neither of these substitutions has been designed to change the game particularly, and that's probably what we need to do. But I'm out of ideas. We've got everyone on the pitch who's likely to do anything special. I suppose the only one is Niang, but Honda's playing quite well, and he's the only one who can really... So let's take Bertolacci off. We've seen Montalivo do special stuff. We've seen Polly do awesome stuff before. Let's do that. I mean, I don't think that's going to be the sort of change that's going to win us a football match. I just don't see us getting a goal. We should have scored that penalty. Let's go to control and just try and push on a little bit. Right, Bonaventura crosses in. We just brought him on to change the game and he misses an absolute sitter. We've now had 2 clear-cut chances to their 1. We're being mugged. Mugging alert, everybody. We are being mugged. League form is so spectacularly poor at the moment. Right, Honda, what? I mean, he's changing the game to an extent in that he's just stopped us getting back into it. Never see him again. Right, let's hopefully do a little bit better against Benfica. Right, officially trying something a little bit different to try and spark some goals back into this team. I've been impressed with Honda, but I want Niang back into the team. I've not been impressed with Baka. It made the decision itself. Niang comes in up front. Looks like he's capable of being a complete forward. Means we've got both Baka and Luis Adriano on the bench. That's some pretty decent attacking options if things aren't going our way. The other team news is that we've sent Gomez on holiday. Bless him, he was all tired, so he's gone away for a week while we're trying to get out of our Champions League group. So Zapata comes in to the back four. Other than that, we are unchanged from the team that was so spectacularly useless in our last match. So, Champions League, yeah. Camacho's captain today by the looks of it. I didn't pick that, but clearly we've signed an inspirational leader over the summer as well, which is very handy. I'm torn between going standard or control to kick things off here. We're starting with standard. If we're not winning after 20 minutes, I'll probably go control because I want to score some goals. I'm getting fed up of 1-0s and 0-0s and apparently 2-1 defeats now as well. But I don't remember the last time we scored more than one goal in a game. In fact, have we scored more than one goal in a game at any point this season? I need to look that up. I mean, you saw the schedule before. Did we? Certainly not for a long time. We need 2 goals today. Niang's in, should have scored. There you go. There's our first clear-cut chance, and Honda balloons it over the bar. I don't want to be one of those teams that only scores at a goal a game. That's so boring. That's not how we play Football Manager. We want 5-0s and 6-0s and 4-2s and just ridiculous high-scoring nonsense. Who sent me to Italy? This was you lot. Can't play that way here. Oh, I thought Niang, I don't even know what he was trying there. Was that a shot or a weird sort of cross that went wrong? Either way, it asked some questions of the goalkeeper, which, can't really complain. That's what we want to do, isn't it? Is that Nolito, as in Nolito at Man City, playing for Benfica? Did he used to play for them, or has he moved to them in game? Who knows? The fullback of 1,000 names with the clearance, and I thought he was going to give a penalty away there, but in actual fact it's rather a good interception again. Benfica are getting rather too much of the ball here. Romagnoli with a good challenge, lumps it clear to Niang, and this is where we see if he can be a complete forward, because he's got to hold the ball up. He's actually done it brilliantly. How was Bonaventura offside? He must have been running back from an offside position. Of all the passes Niang could have picked, he's selected the wrong one. We're going to control. Half an hour. We've not scored yet. We're not getting enough of the possession either. And I think at the moment Benfica are looking more likely to score. So we need to go out there and try and take the game to them a little bit. Donnarumma was completely beaten there. But luckily it's bounced back off the crossbar and we get a slight little smidgen of luck. I like a smidgen of luck. But we're not going to score more than one goal. I mean, we haven't scored at all yet. 1 goal in an episode. This is unheard of. We need complete tactical overhaul if this is how it's going to be. I'm not going to live in a world where you sit through an episode where we only score once. That's just not going to happen. We're going to get back to our old ways, even if it means I get fired. Because at least then I can go to a country where you're allowed to play attacking football. And people don't sneer at you and throw stuff at you in Tesco. I've had that. Rubbish. Do they have Tesco in Italy? Probably not. Right, what do we do to try and win this game? Should we go to the 4-3-1-2? That's an option for the last 20 minutes. But are we just... See, I'm so inexperienced at this level. My naivety's showing. What's the mentality we should be taking here? Oh, at least we're not losing. Or... we've got 20 minutes left, let's go and win the match. Every instinct I've got says do that, so that's what we're going to do. But I'm pretty sure you're now all screaming at me that I'm an idiot, and that we're probably going to go and lose the match now because of impatience and just, like I say, naivety. But I can't be doing with playing for a draw. It's just so boring. Right, I mean, that looks like a really good team. But is it good enough? Let's find out. We've got 20 minutes of attacking football from an Italian team in the Champions League. I'm told by you lot that this is a formation Milan actually play, but I guess they play it in a slightly different style to the way I've got used to playing it. Honda's not having a great game. Let's bring Luis Adriano. Should we just have all three of them on? There you go. Bacca can play back there. Look at that. There you go. There's a front three for you. We've got them all on. And top scorer from last year is playing in midfield. Who'd have thought? Right, come on. We've got to get a goal here. We're throwing everything we've got at this, and we're not even getting a highlight. We need a striker. Or something. We need some kind of creativity or something, because we're not getting shots, we're not keeping possession, we're just not scoring goals. 0-0 is so boring, and they're going to go and grab the goal now, and we're going to be outsmarted in the Champions League. Probably not for the last time. Donnarumma makes a good save. Fergie time now, so they're going to grab a goal. Just to rub salt in my wound, and I thought that was it. And there you go, it is 0-0, which I guess not losing in the Champions League is always a good result. We're halfway through the group and we're top of it. If we'd have managed to nick a goal, though, we'd be pretty comfortable going into the second half of those games. As it is, we're not as comfortable. The finals in the Millennium Stadium this year. Wouldn't that be fun? Having a day trip to Wales. Well, there you go. One goal in an episode. In fact, let's have a quick look. Have we scored more than once at any point this season? Once. And it was nearly 2 months ago. Something has got to change. This is not that there, wherever it is, don't even know which direction it's in. Not acceptable. That needs to change. Keep your eyes out tomorrow. There's not going to be an episode of the Milan Mission out tomorrow. The long-awaited 5,000 subscriber Q&A will be out tomorrow. So keep an eye on that one at the usual time of 4 o'clock. And then we'll be back with Milan again on Sunday. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you pop a like on there. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more. And thank you very much for watching.